We have our models, our classes in place. We have MongoEngine registered and told to connect to the default values for all the local stuff for MongoDB running locally. I already have MongoDB started up and running. Check out the documentation on how to get that working on your operating system, like I said at the beginning. And it's time to create an account, log in, basically start implementing all these actions. And now we'll really get to start programming with the entities we've designed in MongoEngine. So let's begin by going down here to create account in program host. And we're going to be able to use this for actually both the host and the guests. All right, so you can see there's a couple things we have to do, and then we're going to create the account. So let's work on this get name and email first. So we'll say name equals, and we'll just use simple input stuff. What is your name? Something like this. And we'll do email. We should, of course, have them, give us a password and things like that. But this is not a real website. We're not really actually logging in. It's just sort of a user creation type of thing. So we're going to create the account. Now, I could go write the MongoEngine code to talk to Mongo and do the inserts here. But you'll see that we can do much, much better if we isolate all of these behaviors within a central location that we can use throughout our application. In these NoSQL databases, these document databases, there's not much structure in the database. So we already have some structure added by having our classes, our MongoEngine types that we work with, but we can also do a little bit better by having like a centralized data access piece. So that's what we're going to work with here. Let's go create something called a data service. And we'll just put a bunch of functions that we need to work with here. So let's go back and let's import this. And I'm going to import it in like a little short way. So we'll say import services.data service as SVC. Okay. So we're just going to use the functions out of that module by calling it that. So if we come back down here, instead of saying not implemented, let's say this. Say svc.create an account. And we're going to pass the name and the email. What we're going to get back is an account. So we want to actually store that in the statefulness of our application. Again, in a web app, this would be with cookies, and we get it back from the database every time. But we have this state thing, which has an active account. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and we're going to say state.activeAccount equals this. So we're going to get back an account from here. Now, PyCharm says, whoa, there's something going on here. There's no account, or there's no method called create account, no function. But if I hit Alt-Enter, then it'll say, you want to create one? Of course, we want to create one. So name, let's even give this a little bit of typing, type hints here. Say it's going to return an owner. Okay, so that's all well and good. Now we need to use this. So now we get to programming with MongoEngine. How do we create one of these owners? Well, how would you do it if it was a regular class? You would say this. And you would set some properties like name equals name, owner, email is that. And now we want to put it in the database. So we do that by using what's called the active record design pattern. We'll just call save right on this. Now we want to return owner. Now the important point here is when we call save, all the default values are set. When we call save, the primary key, the underscore ID, is automatically generated. Here it's just .id at MongoEngine, but in the database level it's underscore ID. That's automatically set. So this thing is up and running. We should have everything working well here. So let's go ahead and try to run this and see if everything's hanging together. Oh, let me run it over like this. So here's our snake BNB. We're going to go and say we're a host. Notice at the prompt here, this little yellow thing, there's no name. So we'll go and create an account. This is with my name. My name is Michael, and my email is michael@talkpython.fm. Boom, logged in. You can see now the prompt has my logged in name. The next thing we got to do, let's just go from top to bottom. Let's go and log in. However, there is a problem. What if I say I want to create an account, and I say my name is Michael2, and I say it's michael@talkpython.fm. If I hit enter, there's just two of those. That's bad. So what we want to do is we want to do a little check over here. So this is great. We got this working, and let's go ahead and annotate the type here as well. Let's say this is an owner. That's going to let us, when we interact with it later, say things like this and get, all the IntelliSense and whatnot, snake IDs and whatever. Okay, now before we do this, we want to verify that the account doesn't exist. So we'll say old account. So let's say find an account by email. And again, this doesn't exist, so we'll create this function over here. This will let us see how to query. All right, so to insert, we create one of these and we call save. To do the query, we're going to do like this. We'll say owner equals, we work with the type and we say objects. Now, there's a couple of things we could do. We could say filter, kind of lose autocomplete here, but that's fine. We could say filter, and we could say email equals email. Okay, so we would match one of the fields there. All right, and we would not put that, of course. And this is going to return a query, and we want just one of them, so we'll say first. Now, it turns out when you have just one filter statement, you can actually condense it down like this. So we'll go ahead and write that. And we'll just say return owner. Okay, so there's our find account by email. And we'll check. If old account, it'll be none if it's not found. So if there's an old account, we'll print, I wrote a few functions, error message, success message with some coloration. We'll say error, account with email already exists. And let's make this a cool Python 3.6 f string. Like so. Of course, we want to bail. We don't want to actually create it. And here we could maybe do something like that. Print, let's do the success. Created new account with ID. And let's say state.activeaccount.id. Like so. Great, let's just run this one more time. So we're going to come in as a host. We'll create an account. Let's call this, call it Sarah. So Sarah wants to come in. Maybe she's going to be able to, she's going to be a guest. But right, we're going to use this host path to do it for a second there. So Sarah at talkpython.fm. Great, we've created a new account. Now let's just test this thing again. So we'll say, I want to create an account again. Sarah, doesn't actually matter. Let's say Susie, and it's Sarah at talkpython.fm. This should no longer work. It should go and query the database and find this. And no error. An account with email Sarah at talkpython already exists. Perfect. I think the create account is done.